Congratulations on your new purchase, an Apple II computer. Clinton Computer is a full-service dealer, and we want to be certain that you are able to assemble your computer and start learning today. We're providing this videotape to aid you every step of the way. Please follow the video and pause when it's time to perform a step. If you need, rewind and watch it again. First, we'll take an inventory of the parts and describe their functions. Then we'll assemble the hardware. Apple has made it very easy for you to connect your cables properly. Each cable connector and port on the computer has a symbol or picture of the device on it. Just match them up, keeping the symbol on the cable in the up position as you plug it in. We'll also provide some tips for troubleshooting. This video training tape is divided into 3 sections. Section 1, getting started with the Apple IIc Plus. Section 2, getting started with the Apple II GS. Section 3, information on training, services, and software for the Apple II computer family. If you have an Apple IIc Plus model, begin with Section 1 and then fast forward through Section 2 and take a look at Section 3. If you have an Apple II GS model, then fast forward the tape to Section 2 and begin there. It's as easy as that. So, let's get started. Let's begin with the Apple IIc Plus. You're probably eager to get your computer up and running, so let's carefully open the box and take a quick inventory before setting up your Apple IIc Plus. The computer box should contain your Apple IIc Plus computer, the power cord, 3 books, 2 discs, product registration card. If you're missing anything, please contact your Clinton Computer sales representative. If everything is in order, please fill out the product registration card and mail it in. This warranty card is important because it registers you as an Apple owner, so you can be notified of important changes to Apple products. The warranty asks for the Apple IIc Plus serial number, which you'll find on the bottom of the computer. Make sure you keep all of your receipts and warranty papers. We also suggest that you keep the box and all the packing materials, so if you ever have to move your computer over long distances, you'll have the proper protection from rough handling. If you don't have the space to save your computer box, keep it for a few weeks in case there are any initial problems with your computer. Now, let's take a look at the Apple IIc Plus and identify the major parts that make up the computer. The built-in disk drive reads information from and writes information to a disk. The power light comes on when the computer power is on. The in-use light comes on when the built-in disk drive is reading or writing information. The keyboard switch lets you alternate between the standard and Dvorak keyboard layouts. The volume control lets you adjust the volume of the built-in speaker. The keyboard is your primary means of communicating with the computer. Across the back of the computer, you'll notice there are connectors. Each connector, or port as they are called, has a symbol above it representing the proper device for the port. A note of warning: before you plug anything into the back of the Apple IIc Plus, make sure the power switch is set to O for off. If the power has been on, wait at least 30 seconds after turning off the power before connecting or disconnecting anything. It is also recommended that you leave the power cord plugged in while installing peripheral devices. This will keep your computer system grounded. Now it's time to connect the power cord. Make sure the power switch is in the off position. Plug the female end, that's the end without the prongs, of the power cord into the back of the Apple IIc Plus. Plug the other end of the power cord into a 3-hole grounded outlet. For added protection, we strongly recommend the use of a surge protector to guard against power line disturbances. Most surge protectors are built into a power strip, giving you multiple outlets. Also, many power strips have an on-off switch, so you can turn all your devices on and off with one switch. The handle on the Apple IIc Plus makes it easy to carry, but it also has two other important functions. It angles the computer into a comfortable position for typing, and it raises the computer up from the desk for proper ventilation. Do not use the computer without locking the handle in place. You're now ready to install the peripheral devices and set up your computer system. Let's hook up the monitor. This procedure is the same whether you have a monochrome monitor or a color composite monitor. With the power switches turned off on both the computer and the monitor, plug one end of the video cable into the computer port with a picture of the TV above it, and the other end of the cable into the monitor. Plug the monitor power cord into the monitor if it's not permanently attached, and into a 3-hole grounded outlet. Once you've connected the monitor, set it on the monitor stand directly behind your computer. Do not set the monitor or anything else on top of the computer. Let's attach the external disk drive. Disk drives record information on disks and retrieve information from disks. Adding a second disk drive to your Apple system lets you work with documents and programs without swapping disks. You can connect up to 3 disk drives to your Apple IIc Plus in addition to the built-in 3.5-inch drive. The external drives can be a combination of 3.5-inch drives and 5.25-inch drives. The 3.5-inch disk drive uses 3.5-inch disks, which can store up to 800 kilobytes of information. That's about 400 typewritten pages. The 5.25-inch disk drive uses 5.25-inch disks that each hold up to 143 kilobytes, about 70 pages. Check to make sure the Apple IIc Plus power switch is off. Plug the disk drive cable into the computer port with a picture of a disk above it and tighten the retaining screws. You connect the first drive to the disk drive port on the back of the computer and connect any additional drives to each other in a chain. Your drive may have either a cardboard or a plastic packing disc in the drive. Save the packing disc for use when you transport your system. When you finish connecting your disk drive, set it to the left of your Apple IIc Plus, or far enough away on the right so there's room to get disks in and out of the built-in disk drive. Do not set your disk drive on top of the computer. It will block the air vents. Let's connect the image writer to printer. Make sure the power switches are off on the computer and the printer. Attach one end of the printer cable to the printer. Connect the other end of the printer cable to the Apple IIc Plus at the port with a picture of a printer above it. Plug the printer power cord into the printer and into a 3-hole grounded outlet, or better yet, into your surge-protected power strip. Finish setting up your printer according to the instructions in the manual that came with it. If you purchased an Apple personal modem, let's hook it up now. Once again, make sure the power switch is off. Plug one end of the modem cable into the modem, and the other end of the cable into the modem port on the back of the Apple IIc Plus. That's the port with a picture of a phone receiver above it. Unplug the telephone cable from your telephone and plug it into the modem. Use the supplied phone cable to connect the modem to the telephone. Also, keep in mind, you can use a modem without having the telephone attached to the phone line. Other popular peripherals include a mouse, joystick, and hand controllers. They all attach to the same port. To connect them, as always, make sure the power switch is off. Plug the cable for the mouse, joystick, or hand controllers into the Apple IIc Plus and tighten the retaining screws. As with the other peripherals, these devices fit into the port with their picture above them. If you're using the mouse, clear plenty of space next to the computer so you'll have room to roll the mouse across your desktop. We highly recommend the use of a mouse pad to make your mouse move more easily. The quickest way to get comfortable with your Apple IIc Plus is to start using it. That's the purpose of the Apple IIc Plus training disc. It'll give you first-hand experience in a variety of ways. It'll introduce you to the fundamentals of using the computer, demonstrate some of the things you can do with your computer, such as writing, calculating, record keeping, playing games, and programming. The fine art of talking to the computer in its own language. If this is the first time anyone has used your Apple IIc Plus, turn on the computer's power switch. When you do, a plastic packing disc will be ejected from the built-in disk drive. This will take about 15 seconds. Save this disc and insert it in the drive anytime you need to transport your computer to protect the drive's internal mechanisms. After the packing disc has been ejected, turn off the power. If someone has used the Apple IIc Plus before you and left a disc in the built-in drive, you should do the same thing. Turn on the power switch. In this case, wait until the drive's in-use light is off. Press the eject button next to the disk drive opening, and then turn off the power. Find the training disc labeled Your Tour of the Apple IIc Plus. Put it into the built-in drive of your computer. Turn on your monitor. Reach around the left side of the computer, find the power switch on the left side of the back panel, and turn it on. If everything is plugged in and turned on, in a few seconds you should see the opening display of the training disc. If you don't see this opening display on your monitor, go through the following checklist to see if you can identify the problem. Is the computer plugged in to a power source? Is the monitor plugged in to a power source? If the computer and monitor are plugged into a power strip, is the power strip turned on? Is the monitor plugged into the computer? Are the computer and monitor power switches turned on? Did you put the training disc in the computer's built-in drive? Is the training disc unlocked? The tab should be covering the rectangular hole in the upper right corner of the disc. If you've added an external drive, make sure it's empty before you turn on the power. Are you using the right disk? With the computer off, eject the disk in the built-in drive by inserting a straightened paper clip into the little hole to the right of the slot. Press the wire in only until the disk is ejected. Make sure you're using the disk labeled Your Tour of the Apple IIc Plus. Are the monitor's contrast and brightness adjusted correctly? If the problem seems to involve a loose connection, turn off the power and wait at least 30 seconds before you reconnect the cables. If these steps don't solve the problem, consult the troubleshooting sections of the manual. If you can't find the answer there, contact your Clinton Computer sales representative. If you think there's a more serious problem with your computer, you can run a diagnostic test. With the power on, hold down the Option key, the Command key, and the Control key while you press Reset. Then release all 4 keys, starting with Reset. If the power is off, hold down the Option key and the Command key while you turn on the power. The test lasts about 20 seconds. During that time, moving patterns appear on the screen indicating that the test is running. The message, System OK, means your computer is healthy. If you see any other message, contact Clinton Computer. When you're ready to stop working on your Apple IIc Plus, choose the Quit option from the main menu. Push the disk drive eject button. Take the training disk out of the drive. Turn off the monitor's power switch. Turn off the computer's power switch. If you wish to restart or reset the computer without turning it off, you can follow these steps. Choose the Quit option from the application you are running, but don't turn off the computer's power. Push in on the disk drive eject button and remove the program disk you were using. Insert the program disk that you wish to use. Hold down the Command key and Control key while you press the Reset button. Then release all 3 keys, starting with the Reset button. Important: whenever you press a reset key combination, always release the reset key first. If the command doesn't work the first time, try again, making sure to release reset first. This is the end of Section 1. Stop the tape now and enjoy the hands-on introduction to your Apple IIc Plus. Relax. You can't break your Apple IIc Plus by pressing the wrong key or by typing too vigorously. Once you've finished with the training disc, please fast forward to section 3, which features more useful information and software for your Apple IIc Plus. You're probably eager to get your computer up and running. So let's carefully open the boxes and take a quick inventory before setting up your Apple IIgs. The box should contain your Apple IIgs computer, the power cord, the keyboard, a keyboard cable, the mouse, 4 books, 3 discs, and your product registration card. In addition, if you purchased an Apple IIgs memory card, you should have the card in an anti-static bag with the jumper assembly in a separate bag. These may be packaged in the same box as the computer or in a separate box. If you're missing anything, please contact your Clinton Computer sales representative. If everything's in order, please fill out the product registration card and mail it in. This warranty card is important because it registers you as an Apple owner, so you can be notified of important changes to Apple products. The warranty asks for the Apple IIgs serial number. You'll find it on the bottom of the computer. Across the back of the computer, you'll notice there are connectors. Each connector, or port as they are called, has a symbol below it representing the proper device for the port. A note of warning. Before you plug anything into the back of the Apple IIgs, make sure the power switch is set to O for off. If the power has been on, wait at least 30 seconds after turning off the power before connecting or disconnecting anything. It's also recommended that you leave the power cord plugged in while installing peripheral devices. These keep your computer system grounded. Now it's time to connect the power cord. Make sure the power switch is in the off position. Plug the female end, that's the end without the prongs, of the power cord into the back of the Apple IIgs. Plug the other end of the power cord into a 3-hole grounded outlet. For added protection, we strongly recommend the use of a surge protector to guard against power line disturbances. If you have more than 2 devices that need to be plugged into the wall, the addition of a power strip with a built-in surge protector is recommended. Also, many power strips have an on-off switch, so you can turn all your devices on and off with one switch. You're now ready to install the peripheral devices and set up your computer system. To connect the keyboard, plug one end of the cable into the left side of the keyboard. Plug the other end into the keyboard port on the back of the Apple IIgs. To connect the mouse, plug the mouse cable into the connector on the right side of the keyboard. If you're left-handed, you might prefer to plug the keyboard cable into the right side of the keyboard and plug the mouse cable into the left side. The 2 connectors are identical. Clear plenty of space next to the computer so you'll have room to roll the mouse across your desktop. We highly recommend the use of a mouse pad to make your mouse move more easily. There are several monitors you can use with your Apple IIgs. To connect your monitor, first make sure that the power switches are off on both the computer and the monitor. Plug one end of the monitor video cable into the monitor. Plug the other end of the monitor video cable into the appropriate port. If you bought an Apple monochrome or color composite monitor, use the port with a picture of the blank TV screen below it. If you purchased an analog RGB color monitor, use the port with a picture of the TV screen with the circular symbols inside. Attach the monitor's power cord if needed and plug the other end of the power cord into a grounded outlet. Now, let's attach the external disk drives. Disk drives record information on disks and retrieve information from disks. One disk drive is essential to using your computer. Adding a second disk drive to your Apple system lets you work with documents and programs without swapping disks. You can daisy chain up to 4 drives to the computer disk drive port by connecting them to each other. But only 2 can be 3.5-inch disk drives. And the 3.5-inch drives must be closest to the computer in the daisy chain. The 3.5-inch disk drive uses 3.5-inch disks, which can store up to 800 kilobytes of information. That's about 400 typewritten pages. The 5.25-inch disk drive uses 5.25-inch disks that each hold up to 143 kilobytes, about 70 pages. Here's how to connect the first drive. Make sure the power switch on your computer has been off for at least 30 seconds. Plug the drive cable into the port with a picture of the disk below it. Tighten the screws on both sides of the disk drive cable connector. To connect the second drive, with the power still off, plug the second disk drive cable into the port on the back of the first disk drive and tighten the connector screws. If you have additional disk drives, connect each new drive to the port on the back of the last drive in the daisy chain. Your drive may have either a cardboard or plastic packing disc in the drive. Save the packing disc for use when you transport your system. You can also attach a hard disk to the Apple II GS. The hard disk comes with an interface card that you can connect to one of the slots inside the computer. Clinton Computer will install free any interface cards, memory boards, and memory chips that you purchase from us. However, if you prefer, you may safely install the Apple II GS memory expansion card by carefully following the installation instructions in the owner's guide included with the card. To connect your ImageWriter 2 printer, first, make sure the power switches are off on the Apple II GS and the printer. Attach one end of the printer cable to the printer and the other end of the printer cable to the Apple II GS in the port with the picture of a sheet of paper. Plug the printer power cord into a 3-hole grounded outlet. Finish setting up your printer according to the instructions in the manual that came with it. If you purchased a modem, let's hook it up now. Plug one end of the modem cable into the modem and the other end of the cable into the modem port on the back of the Apple II GS. That's the port with a picture of a phone receiver below it. Unplug the telephone cable from your telephone and plug it into the modem. Use the supplied phone cable to connect the modem to the telephone. Also, keep in mind that you can use a modem without having the telephone attached to the phone line. For further information on how to use the modem, refer to the modem manual. The Apple II GS is designed to work automatically with the Apple Personal Modem and many other popular modems. If you have trouble communicating, you may need to change the configuration of the modem port by using the control panel program explained in the owner's guide. Here's how to connect the joystick, hand controls, headphones, and other popular peripherals. To connect them, as always, make sure the power switch is off. Plug the cable for the joystick or hand controls into the Apple II GS and tighten the retaining screws. As with the other peripherals, these devices fit into the ports with their pictures below them. A word of caution: don't use the game port to connect a mouse. If you have a mouse designed for the Apple IIe, you should connect it by using the mouse interface card. You can use the same type of stereo headphones with the Apple II GS that you use for a portable radio. The quickest way to get comfortable with your Apple II GS is to start using it. That's the purpose of the Apple II GS training disc. It'll give you first-hand experience in a variety of ways. In order to use the Apple II GS training disc, you need a monitor and at least one 3.5-inch disk drive connected to your Apple II GS. If you do not purchase a 3.5-inch drive, the information is available in the owner's guide. Find the disc labeled Your Tour of the Apple II GS. If this is the first time anyone has used your Apple II GS, turn on the computer's power switch. When you do, a plastic packing disc will be ejected. Save this disc and insert it in the drive anytime you need to transport your computer to protect the drive's internal mechanisms. After the packing disc has been ejected, turn off the power. Put the training disc into the startup drive. That's the first drive, directly connected to the computer. Hold the disc by the label with the printed side up and insert into the slot in the disk drive. Turn on the monitor. Next, reach around the left side of the computer to the power switch and turn on the computer. If everything is plugged in and turned on, in a few seconds you should see the opening display for the training disc. If you don't see the opening display, go through the following checklist to see if you can identify the problem. But if the problem seems to involve a loose connection, turn off the power and wait at least 30 seconds before you reconnect the cables. Is the computer plugged into a power source? Is the monitor plugged into a power source? If your computer and monitor are plugged into a power strip, is the power strip turned on? Is the monitor plugged into the computer? Is the disk drive connected to the computer? Is the monitor power switch turned on? Is the computer power switch turned on? Did you put the training disc in the 3.5-inch drive connected directly to your computer? If you have a 5.25-inch drive, was it empty when you turned on the power? Are you using the right disc? Eject the disc by pushing the drive button and make sure it's labeled Your Tour of the Apple II GS. Are the monitor's contrast and brightness adjusted correctly? If you think there's a more serious problem with your computer, you can run a diagnostic test by pressing the Apple key and the Option key at the same time while you turn on the power. After about 35 seconds, you should see the message, System Good. If you see System Bad, followed by a string of letters, contact your Clinton computer sales representative. If you can't identify the problem yourself, get help from a more experienced Apple II user or contact Clinton Computer. When you're ready to stop using the training disc, choose the Quit menu. Push the disk drive eject button. Turn off the monitor's power switch and turn off the computer's power switch. This is the end of Section 2. Stop the tape now and enjoy the hands-on introduction to your Apple II GS. Everything you need to know to use the disc will be explained right on the screen, so relax. You can't break your Apple II GS by pressing the wrong key or by typing too vigorously. Once you've finished with the training disc, please return to your VCR and continue watching Section 3 of this tape. It'll feature more useful information and software for your Apple II GS. All Apple brand products come with a full 90-day warranty to cover parts and labor. Clinton Computer offers extended warranties on all Apple equipment for one low price, typically less than the cost of a single repair. The extended warranty picks up where your 90-day warranty leaves off. It covers replacement parts and labor on your computer system and is a very cost-efficient way to provide protection against unexpected repair expenses. Your Clinton Computer sales representative can give you further details. Also keep in mind that in the unlikely event something's not working properly, Clinton Computer offers full repair services to all of our customers. Each retail store has a service department with factory-authorized technicians. In addition, our field service technicians are available to service your equipment at your business location. If you would like further instruction, Clinton Computer operates 4 learning centers which provide Apple training. We combine tested courseware, qualified instructors, and small hands-on classes to teach the most popular software applications on the market today. For more information, contact your sales representative or one of the 4 learning centers, located in our Rockville, Clinton, Laurel, and Alexandria stores. One way to get more comfortable with your Apple is to join an Apple users group. More important, you'll benefit from the experience of people just like yourself who meet regularly to indulge in a favorite pastime, making use of their Apple computers. And you'll meet people of all levels of experience, from beginning to advanced. Locally, the Washington Apple Pie is the largest Apple users group. Their offices are located in Bethesda, Maryland. For further information, call area 301-654-8060. Another way to get acquainted with lots of folks who are already doing great things with their Apple IIs is with Apple Link Personal Edition. Apple Link is a whole world of services and resources that you can call up anytime with your Apple computer. If you're in a talkative mood, there's always a group discussion or two going on among other Apple owners who, like you, enjoy a lively bit of conversation. Or you can catch up on all the latest news direct from Apple headquarters. And speaking of news, you can get up-to-the-minute reports on Wall Street, Washington, the weather, and the world. And that's only the beginning. There are classes to take, games to play, free software programs to download, classified ads to read, stock quotations to check, airline schedules to scan, and thousands of discounted name-brand products to shop for. We can't think of a better way to get to know the Apple community you've just joined. And all it takes is a modem and Apple Link software. From there on, you just pay modest fees for your membership and for the time you're connected to Apple Link. For more information, contact your Clinton computer sales representative. You'll never run out of new ways to use your new Apple II. There are over 10,000 software programs available for Apple II computers, and the number is growing every day. Clinton Computer carries a wide variety of programs, and we would like to preview several of them for you now. Whether you want to help your child with the ABCs or SATs, grow your business, grow yourself, or just have some plain old fun, your Apple computer can help you do it. And it'll give you and your family the confidence to tackle things you never thought you could. There are three basic categories of software: programs that help you do work, programs that teach or tutor, and programs that entertain. Programs that help you do work generally fall into three categories: word processing, things that you've been doing on a typewriter; databases, things you've been doing with a file card system or address book; and spreadsheets, things you've been doing with a calculator. Please keep in mind that some of the programs we're about to show you may not be available for your particular system. When purchasing software from Clinton Computer, check with your sales representative, and he or she will help you choose the correct version. The most popular program for the Apple II is Apple Works, a combination of three programs from Apple that can do word processing, databases, and spreadsheets. In fact, it is one of the best-selling computer programs in the world. With Apple Works Word Processor, you can write a letter, do a report, type your church's newsletter, or create a 15-page term paper. You can enjoy such professional features as bold-faced and underlined text, superscripts and subscripts, proportional spacing, headers and footers, and on-screen display of page breaks. Your kids can even write their holiday thank you notes and have fun doing it too. The Apple Works database module is an indispensable personal organizer for all kinds of information, from personal files to sales records to inventories of household valuables. You can automate the mailing list for your family or business and sort by zip code for mailing. You can track your customers. You can monitor those deductible expenses for income tax purposes. And the versatile report generator lets you produce information in either tabular or label form. Anyone who works with numbers, whether for financial statements, grade books, or home budgets, will benefit from using the Apple Works spreadsheet. It easily performs complex or repetitive calculations, letting you make quick changes to easily evaluate various what-if situations. You can even make instant modifications when things don't work out as you'd planned. AppleWorks' new mail merge capability lets you combine database information, such as names and addresses, with a word processing document to create personalized form letters. Brand new this year is a version of AppleWorks specifically designed to take advantage of your Apple II GS. This new program utilizes the mouse and enhanced graphics of the II GS while adding additional features such as desktop publishing, graphics, and communications. This program requires 1¼ megabytes of memory and works best with two 3.5-inch disk drives. If your system does not yet meet these requirements, you can purchase AppleWorks now and for a small fee, upgrade to AppleWorks GS when you upgrade your machine. In short, AppleWorks is the all-in-one solution for maximum personal productivity on the Apple IIc Plus or IIgs. Software that can teach is often called educational software. From art and music to science and English, your Apple II has thousands of programs available to help your student expand his or her knowledge. From preschool to higher education, learning is an exciting adventure with the aid of your home computer. Reader Rabbit by the Learning Company teaches early reading skills to kindergarten through second graders. Through the playing of 4 animated games, children learn letter and word recognition, memory skills, and vocabulary. A dancing rabbit rewards correct answers. A special version for the Apple II GS can even talk. A student's imagination can be transformed into beautiful pictures on the Apple II GS with the use of Paintworks Plus by Activision. The 4,096 available colors in the II GS's memory come alive on the screen in this easy-to-use program that features full-screen graphics and frame-by-frame animation, all which can be printed in vivid color. The musician in your family can compose, play, and print out his musical dreams with Music Instruction Set by Electronic Arts. You can create a score with 15 notes played simultaneously with your choice of 2 digitized instruments, which produce a sound quality similar to a compact disc player. Music in your Apple II GS ranges from rock to ragtime, baroque to symphonic. Your Apple II can also be used as an entertainment center for folks of all ages. There are sports simulation games, action and adventure games, as well as software for drawing and painting. Clinton Computer carries a huge selection of entertainment software, and we're constantly adding to our shelves as new products are introduced. Here are some of the sports simulation games you might enjoy in your Apple IIc Plus or IIgs. Keep in mind that some programs will run on the entire Apple II family of computers, while others will run on the IIgs only. Hardball by Accolade features realistic graphics and sound and can be played by 1 or 2 players. It's like the Saturday afternoon game of the week on network television. No, it's better, because you don't just sit there, you play hardball. In fact, hardball is so real and lifelike, if you wear a uniform while you play it, you just might get it dirty. It requires 512K of memory, 1 or 2 joysticks, and a 3.5-inch disk drive. With Winter Games by Epix, you get a completely lifelike winter wonderland featuring 6 action-packed events: bobsled, ski jump, figure skating, freestyle skating, hot dog aerials, and the biathlon. There are also opening, closing, and awards ceremonies, complete with national anthems. You can compete against the computer or against your family and friends. Winter Games requires a joystick. Zany Golf is the mini golfer's fantasy and nightmare. Electronic Arts has kept the best of miniature golf and reinvented everything else. These holes are so all-out wild and imaginative they couldn't be recreated in real life. Each hole is so incredibly different and so absorbing that Zany Golf is actually 9 arcade games in one. Get your ball through a pinball machine to reach the final putt of the pinball hole. Crazy music, flashing lights, real pinball flippers, thumper bumpers, and drop targets. A ketchup bottle is only a take of the hamburger hole. The trick's in getting the hamburger jumping so you can get to the hole underneath. The energy hole features laser beams, particle rays, and transporter pads that'll make your ball disappear in a burst of fireworks and transport it to another level. Other holes feature moving walls, the classic windmill, magic carpets, a castle, and water hazards. Surprises include a hole with a mind of its own and a secret hole. With Karateka by Broderbund, you may control action either with a joystick or with a keyboard. As you return home after years of study under a master of karate, you find your village burned to the ground. Your friends and family are scattered. Your bride-to-be stolen by Akuma, the warlord whose oppressive shadow has darkened your village since before you were born. Your grief and rage turn to cold determination. You vow never again to submit to the evil warlord. You know you must avenge your village and rescue your beloved Princess Mariko from Akuma's mountain fortress. Alone, armed only with your knowledge of karate, you must outfight Akuma's vicious warriors, each one more powerful than the last. Put fear and self-concern behind you. Focus your will on your objective, accepting death as a possibility, and do what you have chosen to do. This is the way of the Karateka. Flight Simulator 2 is for the entire Apple II family of computers. You put yourself in the pilot seat of a Piper 181 Cherokee Archer and head for the skies. High-speed color 3D graphics provide a spectacular panoramic view as you practice takeoffs, landings, and aerobatics. Complete documentation gets you airborne quickly, even if you've never flown before. And when you think you're ready, you can test your flying skills with the World War I Ace aerial battle game. Flight Simulator 2 features include over 80 airports in 4 scenery areas: New York, Chicago, Seattle, and Los Angeles, with additional scenery areas available separately. Day, dusk, and night flying modes, user variable weather from clear blue skies to gray cloudy conditions, full flight instrumentation, VOR, ILS, ADF, and DME avionics, navigation facilities and course plotting, flight handbook and information manual. Bring Europe closer to home with Carmen's newest adventure. Where in Europe is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen strikes again. Follow Carmen on a wild chase through all 34 European nations using the latest in computer graphics and animation. Along the way, learn about European geography, history, economy, and culture while developing valuable organizing, analyzing, and research skills. Players use Rand McNally's concise Atlas of Europe, which is included to decipher almost 1,000 clues. The atlas includes a special section on mapping, a variety of map types and styles, a 34-nation gazetteer, and a full index. Other new software features include the online Crime Stoppers notebook and a Fact Finders database to teach data management basics. Investigations may be saved and completed later. Fantavision, also from Broderbund, is an amazing program that makes it possible for adventurous beginners to create colorful cartoons, dazzling special effects, and complete motion pictures right on their computer screens. Named the Apple II Entertainment Program of the Year by Computer Entertainer magazine, Fantavision brings your simplest drawings to life. Once you've created any 2 objects or creatures in separate frames, for example, an open hand and a closed hand, Fantavision will automatically generate up to 64 in-between frames to make your first drawing turn into your second. This technique, called tweening, takes professional animators hours to accomplish. Fantavision does it in minutes. You can make a tree magically turn into a fire-breathing dragon. Bring an airplane in for a perfect 3-point landing. Automatic backgrounds offer interesting settings for stories. You can even load high-resolution screens from other programs, then add your own animation and text. Create cartoons, animated letters, and greeting cards. Even direct your own movies and send them to friends. Best of all, you can have fun while Fantavision does most of the work. The Print Shop by Broderbund Software runs on the entire Apple II family of personal computers. Turn your personal computer into a personal print shop. Now, with only a few keystrokes, you can write, design, and print like a pro. In mere moments, you'll add more personality, more originality, more impact to anything you have to say. Just think what you can do. Make signs, banners, and flyers in minutes. You can design and print advertising materials for your business, plaques to decorate your workspace, and just about anything. Everything you print will be as individual as your own signature. Enjoy instant creativity at home, school, or the office. It's not only fun, it's easy. There are no complicated commands to learn. You start right away with an easy-to-use program that delivers instant results. Everything you need is included, such as type styles, borders, background patterns, and a variety of pictures and symbols. Design elements include 8 type styles in multiple sizes, 3 formats, solid, outline, and 3-dimensional, 9 border designs, a graphic editor that lets you create original pictures or modify the ready-to-use graphics in the program, special screen magic function to freeze kaleidoscopic patterns to create an endless variety of geometric designs, and capability to superimpose text over any high-res screen image. Give your videotapes a Hollywood look with color credits, titles, and graphics with Broderbund's VCR companion. Now you'll never forget the date you shot the tape, where you were, or the names of the people. Titles can scroll vertically, horizontally, or appear on screen letter by letter. Choose from 12 fonts, 16 colors, and 12 special effects, including glitter, rain, and stars. 12 transitions take you from one screen to another. You can choose from ready-to-use fun graphics, or import graphics and animation from DazzleDraw, Fantavision, and Animate. You need no special programming, wiring, or hardware setups. If you've got a VCR, VHS, or Beta, and an Apple II, you've got everything you need. After you become accustomed to writing easily, organizing your life and your work, and getting your finances in order, you'll probably want to do even more. You might want to add memory or a hard disk to speed up your work and cut down on disk swapping, or a modem to check the stock exchange or make airline reservations. The beauty of an Apple computer is that it can grow too, just like you do. And your Clinton computer salesperson is here to help you make the right selection based on your needs.